and welcome to another episode of Fun with Fridays with Brian and Tim, and our special guest,
I'm here.
Mark Ritchie. Marky, buddy, how you doing?
What's up, dudes? How we doing today?
I'm doing great. Brian, how are you, bud?
I'm good. Gold League,
So,
another Friday.
Hey, no Candlepin talk.
I know it's Friday, but
It's Friday. You keep you hush.
All right.
So I totally screwed up the normal because we're just so confused that we have a guest on Friday.
I like
that
it.
effect
But I
on
like
some
it.
people, but thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh no,
This is
I
cool.
love
I
it.
love doing these.
Yeah.
I
It's
love it.
great.
So, agenda for people that want to listen in. We don't have an agenda. We're going to just shoot the shit on just about anything we can think of other than Candlepin bowling.
I love
There's
winging.
probably going to be a lot of sports talk because
Yes.
sports are going so well in New England right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I got to tell you this quick story. So I'm in Walmart the other day and this little girl goes, "Mom, how do you spell scrotum?" And now, number one, I'm laughing my ass off. Okay. I'm laughing my ass off because I'm like, "Mom, how do you spell scrotum?" Now it's in this little voice.
Random as
The lady goes, "Honey, you should have asked me last night. It was on the tip of my tongue."
Ha! Yeah, I mean, there for a second.
Oh God!
It is going to be one of these shows. I've
Now
got.
that we
Did you
have
get
no listeners,
Did you happen to get her phone number just on
Well-
the off? I mean, I'm a happy married man. So anyway, this is a great opportunity to be on the show, and I thank you fellas for having me on here. This
we
is great.
appreciate you being on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Loving every bit of it. I've been
Hey,
hoping to
you
get
know
on
what?
with you fellas for a while.
Because we have so many Montreal Canadiens followers that listen to our thing.
Oh,
How do we
Habs
like
suck.
the fact that Claude got just like bye Claude, bye, you no
So-
longer work for us.
you know, my initial thought was, why the hell did it take him so long to fire him?
Why does Claude Julien even get coaching jobs in the NHL anymore? He plays mid-90s defensive hockey
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally, I love it when the Habs are a dumpster fire.
All day, every day. Yes.
Yes, I love the fact that when you look at the divisions for the NHL right now, it sucks that the Bruins aren't playing them. I'll admit it. I'm a diehard Bruins fan, have been since the late 70s. I miss the rivalry games and this would have been a great year for it because they play each other so many times and they play back-to-back games and shit like that. Can you imagine how much fun it would be to see the Bruins beating the shit out of the Canadians?
Like
But that's because
10,
we're dirty.
15 times this year.
Oh my God.
We're
It would
dirty,
be-
dirty Americans, and we cannot
Oh.
go over the border.
Oh God. I love it. I think that so the GM and
Yeah,
Claude got shown the door.
Lax.
you imagine that? They're like, hey Claude, we're letting you go. He's like, I'm gonna go talk to the GM about this. Yeah, about
Yeah,
that.
we were already there, and
Yeah.
just clean
So-
up your desk. You're good.
Yeah. Bye bye.
I love the fact that division is not exactly the hardest division out there.
But they weren't
that
even
Canadian-
doing that bad. Like they weren't
doing that-
awful.
Well, they were what 9, 4, and 5 or something like that. It's like
Which in that division is what, second?
no, they're in like 4th or 5th.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you've got the Bruins with what, the second best record in the NHL, or is it the best record? I can't remember it off the top of my head.
I'm not sure. I know they're playing well.
I'm
Even
checking
with
that
the-
out right now, and I don't
even
see
with the-
anybody that has more wins than the Bruins. As of
See-
right now, the Bruins are 44-14 and killing it. Unless that was last year's.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna
Stupid.
say
That was
Stupid
pre-COVID. That was
Stupid
pre-COVID.
Google.
stupid
Autocorrect.
Google.
It auto-corrected you.
It did, even though I don't use autocorrect.
Why ducking not?
Yeah.
When technology starts thinking for you.
Yeah,
No,
that's
but I
can
just
I
think
can guarantee that I will never use the word ducking in any text or email.
I might, but it may also have to do with some ice cubes and a 6-iron.
In a walrus.
Hey,
Okay,
okay.
Bruins are
so-
tied for second best record in the NHL.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
And I
Angela Paquette, did you hear that? The Bruins had the second best record in the NHL.
And
Hey,
Montreal does not have the first best record.
Just wanted to make
Not
sure.
at all. Sorry, Angela, but Habs suck.
Yeah, suck.
Habs suck.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hey, what did Cinderella do when she got to the ball?
She gagged Tim.
Sorry. My goal is always to get Brian to laugh at something I say for the Friday episode. But
I've had enough long car rides with you and heard enough of your jokes that I've heard some of these before.
Oh my God, I miss those.
Yeah, but you're a dad now. You should respect the dad jokes.
I do.
More.
I do. But Dad Tim doesn't tell dad jokes. He tells like just awful jokes, not just
uncle jokes.
But that one special uncle
the
everyone has. You know, the one that lets you drink and lets you, swear in front of him. And shows you his
tell your mother,
magazines.
Here, let's go watch
that
this.
one.
Come here for take
exactly.
this. Don't tell your father I gave it to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. That uncle. That's Tim. Except my son is terrified of Tim.
He is.
Absolutely.
Why?
Terrified.
We don't know.
There's a story in there somewhere.
No.
We literally have no idea.
I have one idea. Tim is the only person my 2-year-old son Colin has ever seen that is completely bald.
But I'm not. I got hair.
But like,
You can zoom in real close and see it. Yeah, maybe. But I mean,
but like you're the only one he's ever seen that's like completely bald.
it could be a thing. And he's only 2, right?
Yeah, he's
but I mean,
turned 2 in November, so
I've been around the kid since he was basically born.
Tim and Angie were the first people to babysit Colin.
Yes. And the kid is fucking petrified of me.
Oh yeah. Tim gets near him and he bolts. He runs to me and he's like up, like up.
I don't know. It's like I could teach him so much. The kid needs to get over his fear of me because
I know
it's up to me to
uncle.
teach it. Brian doesn't have a brother or sister, so I have to be the funkle.
Yes,
uncle.
Yeah, you do. Hopefully, he grows up a little bit and he grows out and he mellows out of it a little bit.
He will.
Or you might have to buy a wig or something. I don't know.
Can you get one of them big like?
You might just try it one of these.
What about the Bret Michaels wigs, like the big ones?
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
80s big hair
80s
wig, like
big
showing
hair. I've never in my life had big hair ever. Even back when I was in high school in the 80s.
You didn't have the pompadour going like all the guys did back.
Okay, well, that might have been a little bit before my time.
No, that was the mid 80s, early mid 80s, wasn't it?
No. Pompadour?
Yeah, when Grease came out again. Like when Grease came out, they had like a big like 50s
Wasn't the pompadour
like 70s?
Like the like the white guy afro kind of thing? It was just like a was the pompadour like when they spin their hair in the front?
Pompadour
like
was
like
Elvis
greasers.
had a
Oh, that was
like
that. All right,
greasers.
never mind. Then that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the big like the white guy fro thing.
Yeah, no, I never had the white guy
that?
fro.
No.
No, so I started when I was going into high school. So my freshman year, that summer between 8th grade and freshman year, I started going with a the fuck do they call it now? Flat top. I had a flat top.
Oh, all right.
So I
had a
had
crew cut.
Yeah, well, not quite. Crew cut's like kind of like this. Flat top is shaved on the side with a little bit of hair here with gel and whatever to get it.
Oh,
it was like up an inch or two.
You had the dickhead police officer haircut.
Yes, I went with a dickhead police officer cut. And
funny because what you would become.
Well, except for I wasn't a dickhead. I was.
Except all the people you gave tickets to probably changed that.
The funny thing is, I rarely gave tickets. Rarely.
Because he pulled over a lot of chicks.
It's not dumb either. I mean,
I have pulled over a few to get their address.
That's creepy, Tim.
It was a different time.
It was a different time back then. Look, the early 90s, you could get away with a hell of a lot more than you can now. Let's face it. You really can.
Well, yeah. Fact. I mean, there were shows on in the early 90s. Like, I can remember the shows I weren't supposed to watch when I was a kid, like Martin. Like, I loved Martin.
That show was so funny back in there. I remember
Oh
that.
yeah, Martin was great, and then
Yeah.
In Living Color was the
In Living
best.
in Living Color was one of the funniest variety shows. It was like Saturday Night Live for people that couldn't stay up and watch Saturday Night Live. It was on
Yeah,
TV.
because it was
My
on
God.
what like Sunday nights. It was like on Fox. You had Sunday nights. It was In
It was
Living
like
Color.
7, 8 o'clock.
Or no,
Yeah,
it was
it
The
was like prime time.
Simpsons. It
Yep.
was The Simpsons, and then Married with Children, and then In
Yep.
Living Color.
Yeah,
My God,
Simpsons
you
Married
got-
with Children was like 7:30, and then In
Yeah.
Living Color was like on at 8. And then I had
Yeah.
to go to bed.
You guys
to
are
go to school
so
in the morning.
fucking young.
What are you talking about, guy? You're like
What do you
5 minutes older than me. Don't worry about it.
How old are you?
I'll be 40 on July 4th.
Oh my
I'll
God,
be 40 this year.
I'm 10 years older than you. I'll be 50 on August 4th.
I'll be 36 this year.
You
Fuck.
guys suck.
What do you mean? I'm as old as I've ever been.
Yeah,
Well,
mean,
you know what? That is true. That is true.
I'm as
You
old
are-
as I've ever
I've never been older
I
than I am
never
right
been
now.
older. I have never been grayer. I have never been more tired. I have never been sorer. I bowled 5 strings last night in league, and my back was hanging on me when I walked out last night. I'm like, this is starting to suck.
So you know what? Save that comment for newsflash, folks. We also have a special guest for our next Tuesday, and that's going to be Mark. He's gonna stay on, and we're going to talk Candlepin Bowling. So save that comment because I'm going to teach you guys what it's like to be fucking old in bowling.
I'll make sure to take notes, see if there's anything I can improve on. I'll try.
Yeah. So hey, Celtics suck.
that was a terrible showing they put up against the Hawks. That was awful.
That was
What is wrong
suck.
with them? Do they just have no motivation? Like,
So Mark, I know you're not a huge Celtics fan.
No, not really. No.
And I get that. So
I used to be. I used to love basketball. I
Yep.
used to love basketball when there were great players on the floor and it wasn't a whistle every 30 seconds. It wasn't everybody just complaining about fouls. When there was good basketball, I used to love basketball. I fell out of it probably around the late 90s, early 2000s, and I just got into hockey way harder.
Yeah. Well, hockey's easy. Look,
hockey's fun.
hockey's. Here's my take on this, and people are gonna say, "What the fuck you talking about?" Hockey is a man's sport. I'm not saying that women can't enjoy it. I'm just saying it's fast. It's hard. You got to hit.
It is one of the toughest sports out there to play.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. By far, fewer whistles. There is more constant action. There is more constant contact. Like, you have to be in some of the most primo physical condition to be an elite hockey player than any other sport.
Yes. And that's what I mean. I'm not saying that obviously there are women that play hockey and play very well. And I'm not saying that they don't watch hockey, because I know a lot of women that watch hockey and that love hockey.
Absolutely.
When I say it's a man's sport, I mean it's
dirty.
It's dirty. It's just
It's tough. It's chippy nowadays compared to the game 30 with the stick checks and all the everything else. The guys are hitting each other harder than they've ever hit before. They're shooting the pucks at the goalies faster than they've ever gone before. There is no room to close your eyes for 2 seconds and take a break.
They're not swinging hickory sticks anymore. These are like composite carbon fiber. They weigh as much as a feather sticks.
Look, Zdeno Chara. I'm a huge Chara fan.
Me too. Absolutely.
Love Chara.
I wish him nothing but the best. People that gave him shit for leaving the Bruins and for what the Bruins did when they asked him to leave, those things happen to aging stars like that. They still have gas in the tank. They can still go make another team better. The Bruins just wanted to go in a better direction. I wish nothing but Z all the best for the rest of his career.
Would I have liked him to stay on the Bruins in a diminished capacity so he could help the young defensemen? Absolutely. I would have loved to have seen him stay.
But he wasn't going to do that.
That's what he's been doing the last 5 years, though. In my opinion, as he's gotten older and a little slower, he's been there to mentor more.
Except for he's led the team in ice time.
True.
That's what I mean when I say diminished capacity. It means, you're not going to get 26 minutes on the ice, Z. Like,
No, what I meant was about the mentoring aspect. He was there to mentor, but not to diminish. No. He's been leading the defensemen in ice time for years now.
Yeah.
And that could have been cut back a little bit.
Have you ever seen how big and long his stick is? Not dick, stick.
I heard something they
Dingle.
said one day on SportsCenter they had to amend the rule in
Yeah, he has to
hockey
file a thing every year, like an abatement every year.
so he can use a stick that's like larger than what's allowed just because he's such a massive human.
He is 7 feet tall on skates. His stick is something like 6
It's
to
bigger
6.5
than you.
feet. It's bigger than all of us.
Fact.
It's like 6 to 6.5 feet tall. I mean, and it's composite. I mean, the guy shoots it at 102 mile an hour at 43 years old.
And it's a frozen piece of rubber.
Yeah.
Because it's frozen, because it's on the ice the whole time.
No, yeah,
Yes.
they're frozen. And if you're a goalie and that's coming at you, like, don't tell me that your life doesn't flash in front of your face.
No.
I play goalie whenever I play hockey. Like, I don't know how to skate, so I would play street hockey with the boys. And I was always the goalie. I was always the big guy. You know, things changed later in life, but I love being a goalie. But when that one guy on the court had the ball and he wound up for the slap shot, you just saw your last 20 years of your life flash in front of your face. There's no way that some of these goalies are like, please pass it, Z. Don't shoot it. Don't shoot it.
I could never imagine. I mean, I've been to my fair share of NHL games. I've sat close to the ice. I've sat up high. There's basically nowhere in an arena I haven't sat for a hockey game. Not saying I've sat in every seat. I'm just saying in general.
Areas in general.
Areas, you know, corners, center ice, you know, behind the goal, things like that. The speed and the size of these players now versus when I first started watching hockey, let's call it really watching, which would have been, you know, early 80s, you know, the Terry O'Reilly years and the Ray Borks and the things like that. These players are so much bigger, faster, stronger that it's scary.
Yeah.
And I will say the one thing the NHL has really fallen on their face is they've taken away the ability for the players to police themselves.
Yes.
I'm not saying fighting, even though I do like a good hockey.
No, but good chippy checking and enforcers. There's no enforcers anymore.
So
they've done a good job at, and I say a good job, and I say it sarcastically because I don't like it either. But they've pushed those guys. Look, I'm not saying you need goons. You don't need goons. You want enforcers. You want guys
Brad
that
Marchands.
You know,
so, like Thornton. Joe Thornton is a prime example of a guy that had to change the way he played. Now he's had a long career, but when he first came up, when he was your Cam Neely prototype player.
Yes.
You know, he was going to have a Gordie Howe hat trick. He was going to get in a fight. He was going to score a goal, and he was going to get an assist.
Yeah.
The old Gordie Howe hat trick. Okay, yes, I'm showing my age. I still remember when Gordie Howe played. That's how fucking old I am.
love the good old-fashioned Gordie Howe hat trick.
Well, he played into the 90s, so.
So you take an enforcer now. Now, Joe Thornton was not an enforcer, but he would stick up for himself and his teammates. If you take
for a reason.
If you take someone like the Leafs, Ty Domi.
Yep.
Okay.
Domi was awesome.
He was a total dickhead.
He was a goon.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was the definition of a goon.
He was a goon. You look at anyone whose sole job was to go out and
Claude
fight.
Lemieux.
Yes, that's another one. That's another one. He was such an asshole.
From the Devils.
But Scott Stevens could play hockey.
Yeah.
He could play. But when you take a look at who was the one, oh my God, from the Bruins went to Florida. Thornton. I always want to say Joe Thornton. It's not. It's Scott. No. Oh my God. Recently, within the last 5 years.
No, Lucic went to the Canucks. No, he was another asshole.
Lucic went from the Canucks to the Bruins, back to the Canucks, to Calgary. I loved Milan Lucic. The guy again was a Cam Neely. Cam Neely is my all-time favorite hockey player.
It's hard to argue that. It's so hard to argue
Neely because he, again, I love the player that would do the Gordie Howe hat trick. The guy scored 50 goals in a season.
And he has the best SportsCenter commercial of all time.
Yeah.
You want to kick my dog while you're here too?
Yeah. So for me, they need to bring back, I'm not saying they need to bring back fighting. They need to bring back the ability to police themselves on the ice because these guys are so much bigger, faster, stronger than they used to be. And there's no repercussions other than, oh, you're going to get a 10-minute misconduct. Really? That's it? Okay, so I'm going to go sit for 10 minutes? Okay.
See, I'm all for it. I want the old ways to come back. And everything. Like, I would love to see Bob Gibson go against Fernando Tatis Jr. right now. Because I would love to see what would happen if he bat flipped on him. Because the next one would go right in his forehead.
Yes, it would.
Absolutely right in his forehead.
That was the way that was back in that day.
Yeah.
You showed a guy up. The next one, you got a slap shot in the leg. You got a pitch off the ass or off the fucking off the dome or something like that.
But it was self-policing.
Yes.
Sports and sports in general, meaning your major sports, major league sports. So Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, they need that ability to police themselves. Mm-hmm. Along with the referees and the umpires and things that are there. But come on, the way the game is now for hockey, I mean, it's becoming soft. Like, they're allowing all these things that it just, I'm not saying I miss the line fighting where, you know, the bench is cleared and you've got, you know, 25 guys fighting 25 guys.
Face-off. Like, there wasn't even a face-off. You know what I haven't seen in a long time, though? I want to see a goalie fight.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Because they have to skate the whole length, so it's so good.
We got to get Patrick Roy back out of retirement to come up and just start a couple goalie fights, man. He was the king of it.
Yeah.
He was the king.
They had, I'm trying to remember who was involved. It was Capitals. So it was Kolzig.
Ole the goalie.
Ole the goalie. And I can't remember who it was that he was fighting right off the top of my head. But it was funny because you had all the guys fighting, and these guys were just kind of staring at each other. You know, one on this end, one on this end. And the next thing you know, he just goes like this. Guy's like, okay. Throw his balls down, skates all the way down, and they start beating the shit out of each other. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this is great. Oh my God.
You know what's also about goalies? They're all like Tim size. Like, Dominic Hasek was the smallest dude you've ever seen in your life. Yeah. But he looks huge in pads. Like, he just looks chill. He looks like me. And then he takes everything off, and it's like, holy shit, that's like a pocket pal.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said pocket pussy. My bad.
No. You know, like a little Mighty Max, dude.
No, I know.
Although there's probably a brand called Pocket Pal, but...
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
You know, but that's...
Today's Ripping the Rap brought to you by Pocket Pal.
Ride that ride with a smile. Pocket Pal.
Pocket Pal.
Oh
you a trucker driving cross country? Brand new Pocket Pal.
Come get your Pocket Pal and enjoy that time. Oh my God. Off the rails. This is great. This is great. Paul Wright signed with the AEW.
I know, that was huge. Like,
he did.
So
the Big Show.
I have two theories. One is he got a lot of money and he wasn't doing anything. And he didn't care that Vince McMahon will now never let him in the Hall of Fame for another 25 years. Or AEW has signed a couple young, really big guys that need to learn how to work. And that's what he is there to do. He's there to show them how to be a big guy and work.
I saw a video earlier today that somebody had said he was unhappy with this WWE situation, that he felt like he still had more to offer, that he wasn't being used, which he's been used more than most superstars throughout his entire career. So it is what it is. But at this point, he still feels like he has gas in the tank, and I think we have a Zdeno Chara situation. I think instead of the company letting him go, he just went out and explored his options. And Tony Khan, the guy that runs AEW, says, here's a big fat pile of money. You want to come work for me, maybe have some matches and mentor some young guys? And Show went, yep.
But we're not doing anything. He goes, you want to produce some matches? Sure.
Because I don't think, big guys in wrestling, big, huge guys like that, he has not been in and out of the ring constantly, week in, week out. he is still in good shape. He still has
He's
plenty
in better
of gas.
shape now than he was 10 years ago.
Well,
Completely.
didn't he have
His
to lose?
longevity.
He like lost a lot of weight and
He got fired until he lost weight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Years
okay.
ago.
Okay.
And the doctor told him, like, dude, you're not going to live past 40.
Yeah. He was pushing 650 at one point
Yeah.
years ago. And
Oh my-
Vince fired him. WWE fired him
Yeah.
and said, listen, come on back when you're around 450. We don't want you dying. Basically,
Yeah,
we don't want you dying on our watch for the most
They
part.
were like, we're going to send you to
God.
Florida. We're going to send you to a clinic. You're going to get in shape.
And
Wow.
he did.
Yeah.
When he came back after that, he was amazing. And then a couple years ago, when he came out of the gym and he had a fucking 8-pack. Picture
He
Big
was
Show.
doing
with an
DDT
8-pack.
yoga.
Yes.
I had seen that he had gone down below 4, didn't he? Like below
Yeah.
400? Wasn't he
Yeah.
like 350
And
or
he
something
has-
like that?
Yeah, and he has 2 artificial hips as well.
Yeah.
He
And
did
the
have
dude
both
can
his hips
still move,
replaced.
and he can still move like that. That's
The
to me,
best
that's
one, the best time to watch him is like 95, like around Halloween Havoc War Games when he wrestles Hogan for the very first time in WCW. He can do a drop kick.
Yes,
Yeah.
he used to do a legit,
Yeah.
and it was like, holy shit, here's a 7-foot
Yeah.
tall, 450 guy doing drop
So-
kicks.
so I can remember. Now I'm a wrestling fan. I'm not obviously as big into wrestling as you guys are.
You're not a smart.
Huh?
You're not a smart mark
Right.
like we are.
Right. I mean, I know I sometimes,
You're
go
Timmy
on.
Vader. You're Timmy
Yeah,
Vader.
I am. And I know I joke about Dino Bravo and shit like that because
That's hilarious, by the way. I die every time you
Dude,
come into
I
Death Drop
do
chat
it.
with that.
I
I
do
always
it
think of him.
because it's
I always
funny
think
as
of
hell.
Dino Bravo, like walking out with Jimmy Hart in his big cape, like
Right?
And his blue shorts because he was from
with the
Quebec.
fleur-de-lis all over
Yes.
him.
Mhm.
Yep. So I grew up watching wrestling in started in the 70s. I used to watch with my grandfather when I'd go over to his house. So it was always Chief Jay Strongbow, it was Ivan Putski, it was
Tony Atlas,
Tony Atlas. It was the original. Obviously not the original.
Bruno San Martino.
Bruno Sammartino, Gorilla Monsoon. I mean, look. Can't do. Classy Freddie Blassie.
Oh, hell yeah. Yep.
You had. I mean, I like the names come to me, but shit,
Yeah.
it's been 40 plus years. I mean, it's a long
The
time.
Sheiky, Iron Sheik, Sheiky baby.
Well, see,
Sheik has the best Twitter account. Follow Sheik
Oh,
on Twitter.
I do.
It's so
I do.
good.
There is nothing better than Sheik shoot interviews on YouTube. You need to watch them. They feed him beers, and he just sits and he talks shit about everybody.
Hulk Hogan.
in
He
his-
hates Hulk Hogan.
Oh, he fucking hates Hulk Hogan. He goes off on, I'm telling you, if anybody is listening to this and you're an Iron Sheik fan and you want to laugh your ass off for hours,
Yeah.
search Iron Sheik shoot interview and you will die.
so
You will die
they-
laughing.
When I started watching wrestling, they didn't have those types of entertainment, those types of interviews.
Right.
That didn't happen until the early to mid 80s when Hogan was on Saturday Night's Main Event and Piper was, Piper had becoming big, and
That's when WWE started doing it. You go back to like 1978, 79, watch NWA 605 on TBS and watch a gentleman named Ric Flair cut
no.
promos on people.
and I get that, but growing up, we didn't have that
You
channel.
watched the AWA. You watched Northern Wrestling. Like,
And
there's such a
gotta
divide
remember,
because
I also watched wrestling on ESPN.
that was
Kerry Von Erich. The Von
Yeah,
Erichs.
that was
That was Texas. That was Texas
yeah.
wrestling. And I forget the
that was Vern Gagne's
yeah.
All American
so-
Wrestling or something like that.
Yeah.
I that's what I grew up on, and then I grew up obviously watching. Hogan was huge. He was wrestling. It was him and Macho Man and obviously Jimmy Superfly Snuka and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon is still one of my all-time favorite.
When I was a
wrestlers.
kid, he was my favorite besides Hogan. I loved
my God,
Ricky Steamboat.
And I loved Hogan. I did because I was supposed to. I was
Yes.
13, 14 years old when he became big. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Yeah.
You know? Little did I know that the vitamins were steroids, but that's okay.
Yeah, we didn't know that shit
We
back
didn't, we
then.
didn't know that shit then. So
That was one of those, no one's doing steroids, right? No,
No.
not at
No,
all.
no, we're good,
No.
sir. Here, take this pile of money and go away.
Yes.
Leave us alone.
Yeah, but
We're
they
all
had-
set here. Everything's fine.
Hey, do you want a picture with Hulk?
Yeah.
But see, so I occasionally watch wrestling now. I will. I'll if I'm flipping through on Monday nights, I'll watch Monday Night Raw.
I don't know why.
I'll see what's on. You know, it's obviously not the same. It isn't. It's
The commercial. All right, this is my take on WWE real quick. Vince McMahon has made a lot of money, and it has ruined the product because with Fox, when it became network, I wish Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I wish it was all exclusive to the network. I fucking hate PG wrestling.
The best
don't-
era, you ask a fan, the best era of wrestling was when it was PG-13 or TV-14, whatever you want to call it.
Ruthless
That- the-
aggression.
I'm telling you, from the Monday Night Wars all the way through Ruthless Aggression, that 15-year stretch, basically 95, 96 to 2010.
So it
that
really
15
started.
years.
It really started before that because when I moved down here to Rockland, it was 94, 93, 94, and I can remember that's when the Attitude Era started because
That's when
I-
Raw started. Raw
That's when Raw-
debuted in 93
yeah,
93.
on USA.
and it was must-see TV for someone that liked wrestling. It was must-see because they didn't
First-
give a shit.
First
They
ever main
said
event, Undertaker
was-
and Damien Demento.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I mean the Attitude Era, D-Generation X, when they were doing things and saying things that they could get away with.
It was pop culture.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
You know-
so different from the Saturday shows that we used to watch that were clean cut,
Yes.
that were edited for time, and you
Yes.
had Brain and Gorilla going back and forth, and that was funny. And then the matches was like Bret Hart versus this white meat baby face you never heard of before, this random fucking jobber. And you very rarely saw two athletes, like two real wrestlers, compete against each other.
No match was longer than 8 minutes.
Right. And then Raw showed up, and all of a sudden it was totally different. It was a totally new spin on how you watched and how you consumed your wrestling. It was great.
I would watch just to see what Stone Cold would do and say. I would watch to see what The Rock would do and say. I would watch to see what D-Generation X would do and say, because it was entertainment. It was fun. Oh my God, I don't know how many times I laughed my ass off at some of the stuff that came out of their mouths. And now it's
If you watch it for different reasons now, it's good. Like, if you watch it for entertainment, the product is horrible. If you watch it as a wrestling fan and you watch guys like AJ Styles work with young guys, yeah, it's not publicized, but the match is really good.
no, I get that.
Like the entertainment is worse than it was. The athleticism is better.
Yes.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm of that age now where I appreciate the athleticism of professional wrestling. I appreciate it. I understand that these guys and these girls are in incredible shape. Even the big guys and the big girls are in incredible shape and can do things
It's
that
not
they
fake.
couldn't-
It's choreographed.
It's choreographed. I get it. But I also want to be entertained because that's what I grew up with.
And that is the part that they're lacking in sorely now.
Yes.
With scripted promos and giving certain guys more time to give those scripted promos that may not be as good as other guys who could be doing better. I think they've shot themselves in the foot so many times over that there's just too many holes, and now there's just no more foot.
And
Let me-
no weekly wrestling show needs to be 3 hours.
No.
Raw needs to be 2 hours.
And we're gonna wrap up in just a minute, but I gotta ask you guys this: is the last person that I can remember giving an unscripted promo that entertained me was The Rock.
When?
There's a promo that you need to go and look up. It is June 3rd, Monday Night Raw 2013, and it's CM Punk's pipe bomb promo.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That one, yes. No, that was it.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's my favorite promo ever.
I will always remember, because there was at the time, true hatred for each other was The Rock and John Cena. And that
there was heat.
Was that the one where
called him Fruity Pebble? I mean, the shit that came out of his.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay, yeah, that one.
Did Rock call Cena out about the notes on his arm, or was that vice versa?
No, that was the same thing. That was The Rock.
That was the same promo. That was the same fucking promo.
And it was, to me, that right there entertained the fuck out of me. It did.
That level of what guys like The Rock and Cena, and going back a little farther, of your Triple H's and your Shawn Michaels, it's gone.
You want a personal. There's no
promo
personal
ability,
touches to rivalries anymore. Nothing feels personal. It all feels like, well, you two are the guys right now, so have at it. Like, we got it a little bit with Edge and Orton, but it still felt manufactured to me there. Like, I want to see, like, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, when they beat the shit out of each other, I love it. Because you feel personal. Like, you feel like these are two bros that are just fighting. Like, they don't have, like, with Vince McMahon, Austin, you felt a connection because everybody wants to punch their boss at least once.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Tim was my boss on multiple occasions.
But you never wanted to punch me.
Oh, there were times, son.
Oh, really?
There were times.
Well,
luckily,
just remember, there was one boss that you had that didn't fire you when he could have.
Oh, very true.
All right, then.
But also, that particular incident was set up, and I stepped in a bear trap set by said boss. You threw me an alley-oop, dude.
I did. I'll admit it. I did. All right, we gotta wrap it up for this Friday. Mark,
I'll tell Marky that story off air.
Alley-oop, motherfucker.
Thank you for joining us.
This is a blast. Thanks for having me here, guys. This is
folks. Great. Remember, send us your questions, your comments, any concerns about Brian, anything like that. Send them to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. Reminder, you can find us on Facebook at Ripping the Rack Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at Ripping the Rack Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Ripping the Rack Podcast. Brian, where else can they listen to Ripping the Rack Podcast?
Oh, they can listen to Ripping the Rack Podcast. I'm not doing that anymore. That's stupid. They can listen to us on Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes. And if you guys like Marky and I talking to you, check us out Sunday nights on Twitch on Johnny Death Drop's Twitch channel, Dudes and Belts Wrestling Chatcast, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
3 hours of wrestling and bullshittery and all kinds of chicanery. You'll enjoy it. It's fun.
And all the Triple I, aka Josh Rio, that you can handle.
Which
is usually about 30 seconds, but I have to force myself to stay on the stream when he jumps in. So,
guys, we appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Mark, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Brian,
thanks
for having me, fellas.
I'll see you tomorrow night at League where.
Hey, he did the plates. He did the plates tonight.
Okay, so they'll suck tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Guys, have a great night.